before I talk about the Amrita Watoto Boma, may I, with your indulgence, ladies and gentlemen, extol the unique virtues of Amma, Amma represents in a world that has largely succumbed to debilitating selfishness and individualism. In an environment largely bereft of brotherly compassion, and that inner compassion that nudges us to reach out to those among us who are in need, Amma stands very tall. Indeed, Amma, you are a unique example of the humanitarian come spiritual leadership that the world needs to conquer the runaway hatred, strife, anger, and suspicions that injure relations between individuals, between communities, nations, regions, and even whole continents. Over the years, I have realized that in giving, human beings get to transform both themselves as benefactors and in the recipients of a process that bequeaths both the giver and the beneficiary priceless elevation that money alone cannot buy. Indeed, giving, which belongs to the same realm with sacrifice, is a fine way of appreciating life, fellow mankind, and ultimately God's eternal goodness to all of us. With regard to giving, Amma is easily the embodiment of victory of love against all odds. She's a special case of a person who has triumphed over barriers such as gender, caste, education, and finance that undermine amicable coexistence among human beings. Therefore, Amma is a true success story, a role model, and a tremendous source of inspiration for many around the world. I'm aware that Amma commands a vast and impressive network of charitable and social service institutions. Is a champion of the downtrodden, oppressed, and forgotten, an envoy of peace, and an ambassador of love to the world, all rolled into one person, whom we are seeing here today. Over and above the many roles Amma plays, she is a visionary, one who goes a lot further than just dreaming, and one who indeed backs her vision with discernible actions, whose impact transforms lives of those in need in the hundreds of thousands. In this regard, no illustration captures Amma's vision action excellence as that of the New York Mayor, Michael Bloomberg, who declared about her, and I quote, "From providing tsunami relief to building homes for the poor, to providing valuable resources to widows and abused women, to simply providing comfort to those who need it most, Amma, you have made a difference for so many grateful men and women across the globe." End of quote. I'm particularly impressed that Amma has in recent years committed a heartwarming $60 million in emergency relief in the 2000 tsunami, Hurricane Katrina, and other disasters, besides donating to children's homes in India and Haiti, sponsoring the construction of over 40,000 houses for the destitute, and facilitating the setting up of vocational training for 100,000 women from impoverished communities. Amma has also donated to financial aid programs for 100,000 disadvantaged women, feeding more than 2 million people worldwide per year, offering 100,000 scholarships for children from impoverished agricultural communities, and financing the treatment of more than 2 million patients from across the world. In promoting education, Amma has been involved in academic tie-ups with top universities in the United States, in Europe, and Japan. At the moment, Amma is in relief work following the devastating triple tsunami-triggered disaster that struck our friends, our brothers and sisters in Japan recently. No wonder philanthropist, educator, and social activist Dr. Stephen Rockefeller said of Amma that, and I quote, "When I think of Amma and her life of devotion and service, I see a shining example for all of us of the spirit of reverence, compassion, and care." End of quote. Ladies and gentlemen, today I join Amma and all of you here to celebrate the inauguration of Amrita Watoto Boma, Amrita Children's Home, Amrita Vocational Training Centre, and Amrita Drinking Water Project. This composite development initiative that sets a new precedent in Kenya. And I want to congratulate Amma and our associates in Kenya for this very commendable setup. This facility will serve children from Nairobi and the surrounding areas, and of course, Machakos County, and not just the people of Kathiani Constituency. I'm sure that these children will from now henceforth grow and learn in a nurturing and compassionate atmosphere. We've just seen some of them. One of them was nicely asleep. She couldn't wake up. And some were just there enjoying themselves in this facility. They can wake up in the morning with the comfort and security of a loving family and a place they can actually call home. The Vocational Training Centre, whose finalists received their certificates today, has provided and will continue to provide life skills that to enable the graduates to earn a living with dignity and renewed hope. I urge these young graduates to serve as role models in society and to personify the spirit of selfless service wherever they will serve. The Amrita Drinking Water Project is indeed another cause for celebration. I'm told, in fact, they are using reverse osmosis, which makes it absolutely clean and drinkable. Clean water, as you are all aware, is itself health care and is considered a preventive measure in health circles. These projects will serve as a good example of what compassion can achieve in transforming people's lives. I salute Amma for this initiative and wish this program a prosperous future. As I conclude, may I share with you what the former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, observed about Amma, which I agree with too. And that should inspire all of us to borrow a leaf from Amma's philosophy. I quote, "I want to share with you what I've learned from Amma. Giving, go on giving. It's not only money. You can share knowledge. You can remove the pain. Every one of us, the rich and the poor, can give. There is no greater message than Amma's giving to all of us, the people of the world." End of quote. And before I do the next declaration, let me appreciate the very warm reception of our visitors. I think that my own wife was at the airport yesterday. She sends her greeting. She looks forward to working very, very closely. And she herself is of the same spirit and wanting to work with the children, the less fortunate in our country. People of Machakos, sijui kama mnajua kwamba huyu mama ako hapa, kokote aendako duniani nzima anapokelewa kiajabu ajabu, kwa sababu yeye mwenyewe ukiangalia ile kiti anakalia sio sofa set. Na yeye kazi yake ni kupatia watu amani. Anapowakumbatia anaonyesha kwamba watu wanaweza wote kuishi kwa amani bila kuwa na chuki. Na siku hizi Kenya hii yetu tumeona chuki. Chuki ndio imetuletea maajabu. Na kwa hivyo zote kama tungeiga mtindo huo wa mama huyu ambaye ni mtumishi wa Mungu. Kwa Mungu anatumia watu kwa njia nyingi sana. Kuja kwake hapa bila shaka kumewaguza watoto wetu, watoto ambao sasa najua kwamba wao pia wakikua wawe kama yeye. She follows in the tradition of others who have gone before her. I'm sure that people remember when I see you, I remember Mama Teresa. And I remember others who have worked for the good in this country. We can all live in a world that will be peaceful. We can actually work towards peace in a very deliberate way. And therefore, once again, welcome to our country. This is your country. Please come again. Kenya and East Africans have been trooping to India literally for what has now become medical tourism. Perhaps we can, through telemedicine, be able to work together and help humanity wherever they are. People are in need, people are sick, and we can reach out with the love of God, which is what has brought you to Kenya today. May God bless you and give you long life and a lot more support as you work towards the less fortunate members of society. Thank you so much.